I don't know what the fuck I just did there. But anyway, this is part 2. This is a piece of land that my father bought when I was a kid. We leased it. And this butts up that tree line right there. Just on the other side of that is what would be my uncle's land that he inherited from my grandfather. Back there, if you can see that clear cut back there. And just on the other side of those trees, I'm not going to walk across. It's not good for the vines to walk on them when they're growing, but after they're scooped, you can fucking drive tractors on them. It won't hurt them. Just damages the buds, not the vine, I guess. So we're just starting our tour here. So here old pothead Joe wheezing away. Okay. Oh, look, mushrooms. Gonna have a good time tonight. Oh, this old truck. Hard to get in when you're old and fat. I'm in first gear. That fucking old stereo. I wish you'd get that fixed. Alright, so there's some crows. Yeah. Caw, caw. Alright. So as you can see out the side window there, I shot my first deer in this field. That's 12 years old. Well, actually not this field. I'll show you here in a sec. I know it's not, the grand tour of all Joe Seeker's stories I've been telling all these, all these years. So you can see the developed land. Then we're coming over here. Big hole there on the road. Remember that one. This road needs a mowed. Right over here. See that field through there? I shot my first deer in that field. And let's just say it wasn't in deer season. So right here, we're not real sure what we're gonna do with this woods, if we're gonna, the price of berries the way it is, if we're gonna develop it, or if we're just gonna let it grow back into woods. I sort of would like to let it grow back into woods and build some cabins up here and rent them as accommodations to tourists and such, and build up what we have around here, and I'll talk about that some more. So wow, we're up to 4 minutes already for a video. Long video. What's the longest video you can upload to YouTube, I wonder? I don't know. It's so good. It's so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love should feel like hardwood, baby. It's so good. I want to make this into goat pasture right here and let them eat all them fucking bushes off. The problem is up here, there'll be no way to protect them from the coyotes and such. when I talk about blueberry land, you see how much fucking blueberry land surrounds us? And how much? You ain't seen nothing yet. Look at that horizon. I don't know if this camera's going to do it much justice, but it does have a good lens on it. This is, if I was to win a lotto, this is probably where I would build a house, right up here. I'll show you. I'd build a nice little house up here and a nice big barn for goats, and I'd build another big shed for working on shit and keeping tools and stuff in. And this is where I'd do it from, right here. This is developing blueberry land right here. This used to be cow pasture and stuff years ago, back before my time. My grandpa was just a lad. All these blueberry fields were. See that horizon over there? That's New Brunswick way over there. Now out there, put this thing in neutral. Over there, look at that hill. Here in another month, that hill will be all gold, all that hardwood over there will all be gold with specks of red through it, man. You can start to see the red now. But you see over there, there's a crew over there picking the Ralph Adams field. And anybody that wants to dox that guy, go ahead. But that's the guy that owned it when my grandfather was a kid, and he's dead and long gone. That's everything we talk about out here, mostly names, is all the names my grandfather gave everything. Right here is where I want to build the house, right up here. This little bit of a knoll up the road a bit, right here, up in this hill. Overlooking that way. I'll park sideways so I get it good. I want to build it right up here in this hill so I can encompass all that view right there. Right there. Yeah. And all these trucks over here. This is another scooping field crew. They're working for Bragg's, John Bragg. He's the guy that owns Oxford Frozen Foods. He's the tycoon. Now right over there, straight ahead, way on the horizon in that sunny spot. And I don't know if you can see those buildings, but that's the Bay of Fundy. That's Sackville, New Brunswick over there, overlooking Amherst. If this was nighttime, you would be able to see the lights on the windmills over there. And then all the way around there, all of them mountains over there, that's the coast of the Bay of Fundy, all the way over to St. John, right out of sight. I know none of you care, but this is my grand tour video, not yours. And then, of course, I would make all this into pasture land for the goats. And the donkey I would have to have or donkeys I would have to protect my goats. So this says 8 minutes. I don't know if I should shut this one off and start another one, or yeah, I think I'll shut it off right after you guys get to watch this crew here for a minute. Sorry for the bumpy ride, ladies and gentlemen. That big White House over there is for sale. Anybody wants to buy it, make a fine hotel. Used to be a plumbing school. That guy died, there's nobody in it now. You can't really see them, and I'm not going down in there because we're not always on the best of terms with Braggs. We don't sell to them. This here's will take you up to my uncle's land. right here is where I would like to build a camp with me and my good buddy that's got the twin boys. So we can come out here, and when they have kids and stuff, and they'll be around, and I'll get to see them. Right? But look at that view right there, man, for a camp. Sit right here, and there's a little bit of a cool breeze today, and you can't tell, but this here's sort of down out of it, sort of sheltered. So it'll be nice October, November days here in the fall sun. Over there in that tree line is where me and my son are going to make a sugar woods. He wants to, so we're going to start cutting trees out of there right away. Hear that picture going over there? Probably not over the truck. Me talking, and so right here, what you're looking at right here now, this would be my great-grandfather's old farm. This is the old farmstead here now. Right there, that tree line is the line between my father and my uncle. And everything on the other side of that tree line, my grandfather bought when he was a young man. And everything on this side, my great-grandfather bought when he was a young man. So right here where we're at is where he used to grow potatoes and keep cows. I know nobody cares. This is just, I'm doing this more for me. And I know Darren will care, and Debbie will probably watch this, because me and her have talked about it a lot and stuff. It's not, you know, it's just, I always wanted to do something like this. So this is a pretty rough spot. All them rocks, I picked a lot of them by fucking hand. I'm a 4th generation Lynn Mountain rock picker. My grandfather picked more than anybody, though. Right here in these bushes, if it was fall, oh, what was that? What do we got there? Old Eagle Eye Joe. Sort of looks like a trail in there. Don't know if you can see that. There's somebody's growing dope right there. Nah, not a trail. Just looks that way. So, right in here, if it was the fall and the leaves are all off, I could show you the old rock foundations to the old barns. And over here, right here, is right where the old farmhouse stood. And of course, my uncle's got an old camp up in there. Now, I just mowed this last week. All them old dead spruce trees, all these spruce trees, I'm gonna be cutting all these here right away for firewood. They're all dead, not worth fuck all. And they're gonna be coming out same as these ones, because there's a bunch of, you can't see them, I don't think, a bunch of wild apple trees in there that are getting choked out. See the wild apples right there? So this field here, we stopped. Normally we would have scooped this field this year, but we're not doing anything with it because the price is down, so we've just been mowing it off. But now, see all the apples? That's all apple orchard in there. I shot a lot of partridge out of there when I was a young man. The old ruffled grouse. Hungarian ruffled grouse, they're called. And right over there on the other side of these trees is where those guys are, the picking crew we just saw is that field. The reason I'm recording all this in here is, like I say, me and my son are going to cut a lot of this out. Yeah, all them spruce trees, there's a lot of, and they're not very good spruce trees either. See them big apple trees there? Surrounded by spruce trees, choking them out. Big apple trees in there. You see how they're all dying? So we don't know why, so we want to cut them out and get them out of there. They're no fucking good anyway, they're all limmy. Look at the apples. Apples, apples everywhere. Look at them apples in there. Yeah, if I hadn't been such a cokehead fuck up when I was a young man, I could have made $1 million out here. That's why my father hates me. I shouldn't say he hates me, but he gets a little angry at me. Because I could have been a lot more. So look at them fuckers in there, them red ones. I bet you they're fucking yummy. I'm gonna get me a batch of them, try them, and get my mother to make me some pie. Get my young fella up here and get him in the bushes to get them. I ain't got the knees to go down over the bank anymore. These spruce trees are all getting cut out of here. Bunch of apple trees in there. So there's fish pond number 1. Did you see right there by that duck? That decoy? See the bubbles? That's where the aerator is. We got the duck on top of it acting like a buoy. And then the air hose runs down through the swamp. The young fella fed it all up through there. Like a good boy. He is. He can be such a good boy when he wants to be. The old sun's coming out now. And then over here is the other fish pond, the new fish pond. That other fish pond we looked at, my grandfather made when I was about 15, 16 years old. And this one here, my father just made a couple years ago. Now, see that rock? No. These old peat ponds, we thought for sure that they'd be able to dig down here as far as they could go and dig up nothing but peat. And they only went down there about 5 feet and found rock. I never would have thought that. And there's a bumblebee pollinating weeds. And there's the windmill for Willie. I know Willie wanted to see that windmill, although it's not doing much windmilling right now. But that's what we built about a month ago there. And we got her down, so she won't go down. We got her overweighted, I think, but don't really want to come up and see it on the ground. That's my brother's wood he got cut. And this is some wood I've got to cut. Me and him, I get 2 loads of it, 2 cord. He gets the rest. In here is what we call Maple Pond, and the reason being is right over there, that low spot used to be a pond, and there used to be a big maple tree over here when my grandfather was a kid, so we call this Maple Pond. And it's in its growing year too. We'll harvest this next year, right? And just over there in the corner, see over there, that's the corner of Goose Hill, we call it. You'll see that in a sec. But right here in these bushes on both ends of the road, about, I don't know, a few years before my grandfather died, I was out here mowing blueberries in October, and let me set this down for a sec. Out here mowing blueberries in October, and I always carry a shotgun in the truck in blueberry season, in the mowing season, or in the tractor, because partridge, my grandfather loved them. I like eating them too, but I always give them to him. They get on the edge of the blueberry fields and they eat the leftover berries. So quite often when you're mowing, oh, I got myself in a spot here. Quite often when you're mowing, you'll see them. And anyway, I would get the shotgun ready in the morning, and told him I needed some shells, so he gave me 4 shells. So I come over, there's another view of the windmill, and I'm mowing there, and I get right up there around that road, and I see 4 or 5 partridge all together on that road, a young flock that hadn't split up yet. Spring. Anyway, I get out and I start shooting them as they go into the bushes, and I end up getting 4 of them, and of course I could have got the 5th one, and I had another shell, so I throw them in the bucket of the tractor and I finish mowing, and I go over to get some lunch, and I go in the house and I throw 4 partridge in the sink. Of course I cleaned them rough up here before I threw them in the sink. They had to be washed. I threw them in the sink, and I said, if you're only going to give me 4 bullets, I can only get you 4 partridge. And he got an awful kick out of that. I don't know why I told that story, because it's probably a lot funnier to me than anybody else. So of course, this is coming up on the back of the Homestead. See, the reason the old farmhouse up there is built where it was is because up there is where the Lynn Road used to be. And down here is where it is now. There's the old tractor. There's Dad's garden. He didn't do a very good job weeding. There's the young fella's junkyard over there. There's the little Kubota, the one we do snow removal with. You can hear the guineas. That's Goose Hill. Remember I said that when I pointed over there, that's the back corner to it. There's the old blueberry shop down there, where my grandmother used to buy berries and receive them. This is the old shed, and of course we're back in the yard. And that concludes our grand tour.